Alright guys, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning on a 2-day adventure getting this rock moved. It was a pain, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't video it because it was just all you would have saw is just me bent over 32-gallon trash cans for hours upon hours. Oh yeah, so took power heads, each rock, hit every little nook and cranny underwater in, one can, and then transferred over, did Bayer dips on them. We may have a little mini cycle, I don't know. We got, it's pretty cloudy in there, it's nasty, it doesn't smell great, so, but we got 2 igloos, we got the blue ice chest over here. Let's see if I can open that sucker. Not too bad, but yeah, it's not great. The whole project didn't go as planned. It just took way too long. I'm just spent. We just got back, and I was paranoid with all the new electrical, so I killed the power to the farm while we were gone, when I probably should have been mixing the salt. So we're doing fresh mix right now. That's what's kind of taking a long time, but we're rolling. We just got 1 tank going right now, and I put 3 buckets in, let it dissolve out, and it went to 1.012. So I threw in another 3 buckets, and she's dissolving, but it's gonna be a long night. Hopefully I'll get this going here, and we'll get this rock moved in real quick. Just let it settle for the night. I know there was a whole lot of feather duster worms that were out, like all stringy, like completely. When I say stringy, they were hanging out of their little tubes this far. I mean, they're dead. Starfish, we had like a pile on just half of the rock at the bottom of the brute can. I'm hoping I got them all. I dipped, I did, let's see, 15 cups to 20 gallons, which is a little less than my norm. And I figured it would get them, but the next morning, went in there and I found no, it wasn't the next morning, it was after the dip. And I dipped it, it was like hour and a half. So I left it in there for a long time. And then when I put it in the ice chest, as we were gonna get ready to pack up, we were gonna pack up and go. And then I found a brittle star after all my flushes and everything, and so I took the brittle star, I put it in a little container with fresh tank water, and it was upside down, and one of the legs was curled. I mean, they were all curled, but one of them in particular was curled up. And then I came in the next morning, and that sucker was straight out, and I was like, what? Like, it had to have been like, maybe he's bloating, maybe it's like, like an animal. But I'm like, so I kept an eye on it, and then later on that sucker was flipped over and curled up. He was alive. He lasted through an hour and a half of 15 cups of Bayer to 20 gallons, which shocked the hell out of me, honestly. It really did. So I took all the rock and I took the power head and got every little nook and cranny again, and I dipped it I did, let's see, 30 cups to 20 gallons. So that's what I did, and I left that sucker in there for 3 hours. So I basically doubled everything up. Hopefully it got everything. I pray it did, because I went through a lot of work for that, but I'm hoping it got rid of the brittle stars. We will see. We will see. But a lot of work, like I said. It's 1 in the morning. Got to get this salt dissolved. Got to get this rock in the sump. There's not a whole lot of flow because it's only basically one hammerhead on one tank down there. Which, I guess, spoiler, you're seeing all the plumbing. I'll have to probably release the plumbing video before this video now. I'm gonna get off this video, but I'll post a little video tomorrow about this rock. Thinking I'm gonna get a mini cycle, but just based on how the water's been looking, we'll see. A lot of death coming out of there, so I don't know. Hopefully I didn't wipe all my bacteria, but I'm gonna throw her in here tonight, and it's gonna be hard to judge because these reef crystals, or not reef crystals, but instant ocean, it takes a little time to clear up, so it's already kind of hazy from the new salt, but I'll know soon if there's a mini cycle. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get this salt mixed up, get this rock in here, get a bite to eat, definitely a shower, and I'm gonna go to bed because I'm shot, I'm beat. I also was painting the other house, trying to get it ready for market, so I'd go work on rock and corals and then come in, spray a room, prep, spray. Thought it was going to be 1 coat, and ended up having to take 2 coats because I was getting tiger stripes. So I'm a little mad about that. It was good paint, Sherwin-Williams. So, anyway, rambling on about the paint. You guys don't care about that. But it sucked. A lot of work in 2.5 days. So now I'm back, ready to get this rock in and hopefully go back for corals in a couple days when this little mini cycle, I'm sure, stops. Go load up the corals, bring them back, and start the orchard. Still gotta get that filled. Anyway, alright, reefers, have a good night, go to bed. It's my son's birthday too, by the way. I thought it was pretty cool. 10 years old. I'm gonna let him take a cruise around the neighborhood tomorrow in my car, like him drive, He's been talking about wanting to drive, and we've been saying, oh, you're gonna get your license in 6 years or whatever. So I was like, dude, you wanna just go ahead and drive my car tomorrow? He's like, yeah, that'd be great, that'd be awesome. You're gonna work the pedals, right? And I'm like, dude, you're 10 years old. You're not gonna sit on my lap, bro. Like, no, you're working the pedals. We'll just cruise around, but we're not getting crazy. You know what I mean? We're just strolling. We're just cruising. So yeah, that's gonna happen tomorrow. Pray for me. But I'm gonna teach this young 10-year-old how to drive a car and have some fun. But anyway. All right, guys. Peace out. What's going on? Little update this morning. We got all the rock in about 12 hours ago. Got another tank running on that thing just a little bit ago. turned out pretty good. But bad news. I did find some starfish still alive. Not very happy. I'm pretty defeated actually. Those suckers, there's just too much sponge, you know. These things, I mean, you can see that one. It's just, that's all different types of sponge and stuff, and I've already got a lot of it off, you know. But I just think these things were deep down in these crevices and got protected, and so they didn't get the full dip. But I see some even right now, right down in there, and they got some movement. So I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna basically mess this rock all up. I gotta get rid of them. I'm determined to get rid of them. I'm already having a mini cycle. I'm almost 100% sure. It's the water's pretty cloudy, and there's this dead feather duster worms coming out of their little feather duster shell everywhere. So I think I'm gonna do some freshwater dips on this rock, because I know fresh water kills these brittle stars real quick. That's what I'm gonna do. It's probably gonna screw everything up. I'm gonna lose all the sponge, probably, but I think the bacteria will be okay as long as I don't keep it in there too long. I think it'll bounce back, but I've got to get rid of these brittle stars. I'm at my wit's end with them. I'm over it. And I don't want to do like a full reset, because I don't want to wait 6 weeks for a cycle. But I'm pretty sure I can do this and maybe only have like a week or so mini cycle. We'll see. I don't know. It's not great. Not that happy about it at all. But it was probably, you know, better we don't put the acro in right away anyway. But I'm not extremely happy about the situation, guys. So we'll see what happens. I think the freshwater, I've seen those things, they just, as soon as they hit freshwater, they turn a totally different color, like they're cooked. Like they go from black to red, and they slime up, and they're just dead, you know. It doesn't take long. So I'm gonna do like some 1 minute or so dips on this rock and probably do it for a few days. And like I said, I'm probably gonna lose all the sponge. I think the feather dusters are pretty much goners. I mean, it's fine. These things I can seed back. I still have rock at the other farm, so I could just take and seed all this rock with sponge and feather dusters and the stuff that I want. But I'm tired of the brittle starfish. And this rock, it needs, you know, it's just, this is like, most of this rock I hadn't messed with really in like 15 years or so. Maybe a little bit less on some of it, but, and it was all, you know, originally when I first started out, I was getting live rock from, you know, like we all do. And so it had some critters and stuff. That's how I got the bristle worms a long time ago. Not the brittle stars. I introduced those suckers, but bristle worms, you know, that was feather dusters. All that came from originally back in 2000 and what was it? 2005, 4, 3, whatever. I'm so tired. It was one of the when I first got into it. And, you know, I was just kind of stupid at the time and I didn't know any better. I would have started with dry rock. I really would have liked to not have any of this stuff. So, anyway, my point is the sponge is so dense and stuff, like, I don't feel like the live rock's really doing its full potential, you know what I mean? That's the whole point, is to get the water and all the nooks and crannies and down in there, and bacteria, take all the ammonia and everything out of the water, filter everything. I mean, I know the sponges, you know, polish the water, but I don't know. I feel like it kind of needs this in a sense. And, you know, like I said, I can always reseed it, and within a year or two, I'll have sponge all over again, you know. But for right now, I think just need to bite the bullet to get rid of these brittle stars, and then just make sure I never get them back. I mean, like I said, I went all these years without getting them, and I've seen them on corals and everything else. The Bayer takes care of them, but these things are deep in the rock, and they're not dying. So, I mean, I think I got like 98, 99% of them. I mean, I've probably killed thousands and thousands, but just the fact there's still a few, and they're not very active, but they're still moving their arms around, and they're moving around a little bit. Like one of them was under one rock, and then I seen it go under another rock a couple hours later. So I mean, they're alive and they'll recover. And these are just the ones that I'm seeing. So I'm sure there's more in the rock, probably. But like I said, I've killed thousands and thousands of them. The population would be under control, but I'm trying to just eradicate them completely. So we'll see what happens. I think that over the next few days, I'm going to see a pretty good cloudy, ammonia spike from all these worms that are hanging out of their shell, just dead. I mean, those all got to break down. And then when I'm doing these freshwater dips, I'm sure I'll kill off all the sponge. So that's got to break down. So it's probably not going to be pretty, but I got, basically I'll take and probably just scoot all the rock over and then start doing freshwater dips, moving it over here, and then clean out this compartment as I go to make sure there's no brittle stars that stayed in there. But it should flow. And then on the tanks, I got mesh filter socks to catch anything that comes through, and I got a zip tie out of the water, so shouldn't get anything in the tanks. This ran overnight right here, and there's like hardly, you can't even really see it, but there's just hardly any debris. There was some fine silt that got through, but you can see how cloudy the water is, so I'm pretty sure it's got a little mini cycle going. So anyway, not the greatest news, but not the end of the world either. I did this to myself. I could have just moved the rock real easy, probably would have maybe still had a little mini cycle, but it probably would have gone away real quick, but because I've had that happen before and actually had corals in with it, and everything looks crappy, and you think you're going to lose everything, and then 2 days later it's crystal clear. So that probably would have been the case, and I could have just moved the corals over. But these brittle stars, I'm telling you, people say they're good. They're like, oh yeah, they're fine, beneficial, they're scavengers, they'll help clean, but I've literally witnessed them. They get up in the colony, they'll find a little spot at the base or like in the colony, and I'll watch their little arms feed. They got them in the current, waving around, picking up little particulate to eat, and they're rubbing their arms, or legs. I guess they're legs. Anyway, they rub it on the coral, and it always happens on the underside, towards the base, because that's where they like to go. And I've literally watched them over the course of a week or two basically rub a hole in the tissue. It starts to get light, and then pretty soon it goes right through the tissue of the coral. And then guess what? Then you get STNing start. So You know, as much as people want to sell them and say, oh, they're great and everything else, I've witnessed it. And, you know, maybe we have a difference in opinion, but I feel like in my whole 22 years, whatever, of keeping SPS, that I've seen more STN since I've introduced them and they've populated than I've ever seen before. And, you know, that's what got me so curious, and I started watching these things and watching them, and I see what they're doing. I mean, I don't think they're directly trying to eat the coral. I just feel like their spines in the current and just catching food, they just rub on the corals, irritate them, and just start thinning the tissue down. And maybe it's just in my system, I don't know. You know, every system's different. Maybe, you know, maybe my coral tissue's thinner than others. I don't know. But I do know that, you know, when I see patterns like that, most of the time I'm right. So in my system, I don't like them. They're not good. And I've seen, like I said, I've had more STN from the base where they're at. And I've seen them, you know, perfectly healthy before, and just watched them deteriorate from these damn brittle stars, and just rubbing on them. And so I'm going to all extreme measures to completely get rid of them, because I don't want any bristleworms. Bristleworms aren't bad, but they're the same. They're like nuisance. You know, they don't really mess with the corals at all, but they're a nuisance. And when I'm working in these tanks all the time, I'm, you know, doing different stuff, and honestly, you know, I've gotten a hold of some pretty good sized bristleworms, you know. I mean, pretty good sized ones that are like curled up, and I'm going to do work, and I go to like grab a coral or something, and I grab that thing and just, ooh, your whole finger will just be all bristles in there. And, you know, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, is, you know, most of the time they don't even get my hands because my hands are callousy and I work a lot, so they're tough. But they do get in there, and they're just irritating, and they, you know, a lot of times they'll get on like this part or like in that soft part and stuff in there, and it's irritating. I know tricks to get them out. You know, you can get them right out, but what, you know, if you don't gotta deal with it, why, you know? So that's just one more thing. Just get rid of them, you know? I'd like to just have, you know, a simple, you know, the big amphipods or something, you know, like that. Just be my cleanup crew, and crabs, blue-leg crabs, snails. Stuff that's not going to hurt me, you know, like my clownfish, you know. That's why those suckers are going to go on Facebook Marketplace for free, or if nobody wants them, then I'm going to bag them up and I'm going to take them to my local fish store. Take them, because they bite the crap out of me, and I just can't do it anymore. I'm just like trying to work, and then you come and bite me. And they're getting big enough to where when they bite, they draw blood, and, you know, over the course of fragging one tank, I might have 15 freaking fish bites. And to me, I mean, it's not worth it. So anyway, had to talk about it a little bit. Not the happiest camper right now, but things will, you know, they will turn around, and all things happen for reasons, you know. I mean, I feel like I'm destined to get rid of these things, so I'm gonna keep doing a little battle and see what happens. And hell, if I crash a rock out, I crash a rock out, you know. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, hell, like you said, it's not the end of the world. The corals right now, they're sitting safe. They're fine. I mean, they're not great because I can't go over there and take care of them all the time, but they're alive. They're good. So it's not like I'm, you know, putting corals into cloudy tanks and watching them die. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. Slowly but surely, she's coming around. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Peace.